Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. How we doing? Let's make sure we got all these streams set up here. Make sure that everyone is updated. They are having StreamYard is having a little issue with X streams. So if you guys are tuning in from X, there are some issues regarding it getting posted or just having the stream duplicated onto X. Just a little forewarning. Good morning. Hopefully everyone had a great bank holiday. Nice little 3-day weekend there. What's going on, Rebo? Good morning. Let's get the alerts out here. Sweet. What's going on, Luke? Good morning. That's weird. Make sure we get the right screen up. Beautiful. Perfect. All right. Good morning, guys. Welcome in. Quite the little push up here on M&Q just before open. Unfortunately, we don't have a previous day in London gap, which kind of stinks. We usually get those on the bank holidays, and they retrace really well. What we do have, though, is we do have a continuation into previous day's range. So if we open right here, we could take a pretty quick downside target to previous day's low for that inside bar break, but it won't have any other validation on it other than the inside bar. There is a $2 break to the downside. We could very much push $8 to the upside. 606 is previous day's high, Friday's high last week. So that's not off the table. Okay, good. Now we'll pull up edgeful. So now that I'm waiting on that payout to come through with Apex. I'm going to continue trading with them. I'm not a huge fan of their platform. I mean, the process of getting the payout was absolutely miserable. And the fact that I got denied and then made a post about it on social media, and then they reached out to me and said, "No, actually, we made a mistake. So here's your payout." Not something that I want to push. Not something that I want to go and recommend to other people or really even stream online. So I'm still going to continue to use them, but it's going to be at my discretion. So what I will do, I know you guys, if you enjoyed watching those Apex accounts, again, I still will trade on them. I might do a little pivot to like 50K accounts with them. Depends on if I get banned or not, because I've spent less than 3,000. I just took 30,000. I know they ban profitable people from their platform, so I'm not sure. We'll see what probably just keep trading on them for now. But we are going to, for streams from now on, We're gonna do Lucid. Probably gonna trade on my funded futures, and then I also want to. And I waited for the stream for this. I wanted some recommendations because I know you guys probably have a broader reach than I do in terms of what accounts we've used. I want to give Take Profit Trader a go. So if anyone in here has any information on that, I think Pickus, you may have used them before. I don't know anyone else that may have or may not have. So for Take Profit Trader, water quality. I was wondering if I had a doctor email me or something. Yeah, I haven't had any tests like that. Just talking to myself. Sorry. For the accounts that we're going to use, if anyone has used Take Profit Trader and has any recommendations on those accounts, I'm probably going to go and opt with the 25K Pro with them. And then I think those are 5 days to pass. In the meantime, we're going to trade the most reliable ones. And again, the reason that I'm doing this, I know a lot of you enjoyed watching the Apex accounts and posting them online and using those for growth. I should have the payout. Let me actually check, see if they sent it today. I should have the payout coming up really anytime today or tomorrow. They sent it on Saturday, so maybe I won't get it until Friday this week or something. Let's see. Nope, no payout yet. So for those accounts, I don't want to push something. I don't want to put on to you guys something that I really wouldn't use myself. If I weren't in the position I am with my social media following, who knows if I would have gotten approved for that payout. Either way, extremely odd that they denied it. And then he made a post on it. Now we're going to go and look into this. And I got the payout approved for quite literally the same day that I made the post on social media. So it's weird all the way around. Not something that I want to convey to my audience. Now for the data today, I have my funded futures up. I only have this 50K. This is what I started with that 50K rapid. And then I do have the Lucid accounts here. Lucid 25Ks, as always. Those ones I've been on a little bit of a rut with. So I do blow accounts, just so you guys know. All right, let's go and scroll up here a little bit, catch up to the comments. Sorry, I missed some of your comments there. I was on a little bit of a rant. How's it going, Mr. Consistency? Thank you, Perez. That's why I said Friday. They will change the decision due to the post on Twitter. As long as you're making money, bro, continue with Apex. I plan on continuing with them. I just don't want to convey that over to you guys. Like, if any of you in here had the same situation that I just went through last week, probably wouldn't have had the same outcome. As sad as it is to say, who knows? I mean, this is all just hearsay from me, but who knows if I hadn't made that post, would I have gotten approved on the payout that they previously denied, or would have just gone straight through and I would have had to trade for those 8 days, whatever it might have been. They're super good. What was the IB indicator called on TradingView? This IB indicator is through edgeful. It's edgeful initial balance breakout and edgeful IB by levels. They're super good. Take Profit Trader is the best. You love them. Expensive startup, but they're solid. Are really good, but really slow to respond from help desk, and their drawback is intraday trailing drawdown and funded, but only until you hit the buffer. I'm not too worried about the intraday trailing drawdown in the buffer because that's what I just went through with Apex. As long as it's over 1,000 on the 25K account, which I think it's 1,500. 1,500 is what I believe the drawdown to reward ratio is. So I'll definitely look into those. When you trade the 25K accounts, do you use the MNQ or NQ, and how many? I use one MNQ or two MES. Juliana, when you were flagged with MAE, did Apex notify you in any way? No, they didn't send me an email. That's why I got to prove the payout afterwards. That's what I was trying to convey to everyone that was asking me questions about that. They never ended up sending me an email regarding why I didn't get approved or what the violation was. They just, when I went to request the payout, it said payout denied, just said MAE rule. When I had to reach out to support for them to tell me. And then the support only told me that I needed 8 trading days. So either someone made a mistake by not sending me an email. I'll pull up the actual. Hold on. I want to expose my email here. And then after this, we'll get into what price is expected today. We do have another minute or two before it finalizes. We're also, we just had a 100-point candle at 850. I don't know what the news with that was. It wicked back down pretty significantly, but that was decent enough for us to continue. Okay, make sure I don't. Okay, so I'll show you guys the exact answer. Here we go. So this was the response to the support ticket that they sent me. This is, I don't know what support manager it might be, but they told me, thank you for your patience while we complete our review. Our payout team confirmed that the violation notification sent on January 30th did not successfully deliver to your email. I apologize on behalf of our team for that failure. All payout requests for your 20 PAs have been approved. You can view them by logging into your dashboard, navigating the payouts, yada yada. So this line right here, they could have just as easily said this email was sent. I could have just said I never received the email. They could have said it was sent. I could have said I never received it and gone back and forth, but they managed to correct it. Again, the only thing is I don't know if that's something that they would do for everyone or just because I happen to have 13,000 followers on Twitter and whatever other following everywhere else. MAE is the max. I can't remember the acronym for it or what it stands for. Maximum excursion something. Maximum you can't lose more than maximum allowed excursion. Thank you, R2. You can't you can't be down more than 30% of what your total drawdown is on a position. So that's what that maximum adverse excursion. Thank you. So that's what the violation was. They never sent me the violation. They never sent me the email. The only thing that they sent me was, let's see if I have a support one on here. Apex right here. This is the other one. So this was the first support ticket I had. I reached out to them. I said, okay, what's the deal with the violation? And then I very much specified, where is it? There we go. So this is the response they gave me when I reached out to support. They said, if you trade every business day, the earliest you can request the payout is the end of the day on the 11th, provided all other criteria are met. They sent me this link, and the criteria was just 8 trading days. 5 of the 8 trading days had to be $50, and then it had to be 100 over the safety net, which for the 25K accounts is 26.6. So that's the email that I got from support from them I did not receive the one that said I had to make an additional 1,500. That's what they denied the payout for. And then they reached out and said, "Hey, sorry, we never actually ended up sending you the email. Here you go." How are you navigating not being able to trade gold on Apex? I actually love it. Every time I touch gold, it goes terribly, terribly wrong. Looks like I won't be able to get paid on the Apex ones I have. You don't get denied the payout. You don't lose anything. They do pay out, but they drag. I mean, the hoops that you have to you have to jump through for Apex is ridiculous. The reward to that, the reward to them being as strict as they are, is the fact that you get to trade 20 accounts. Wait, you have to make an additional 1,500 besides the reset of the 8 yeah, it's pretty ridiculous, Giuliano. So if you, let's say on Apex, you go 12 trading days. This is essentially what I did. I went 12-ish, 12, 13 trading days. I made 2,700. On the 13th trading day, I had a trade that went, and it's because I wasn't at double the MAE yet. Over 12 trading days, I made 2,700 per account. On the 13th trading day, I had a trade that went negative 600 and then came back, and I ended up closing the day green. That was the violation. What's going on, Mark? Good morning. So that was the violation on Apex. Just because I had that one bad trade on the 13th, that negated all the progress that I made for the previous 12 trading days. That's the email that they forgot to send me, or didn't send me, or never successfully delivered to my inbox. Now, since I messed up on the 13th trading day, even though I already qualified and made 2,700 over the past 12 trading days, I have to make an additional 1,500 because they say that a portion of the profit, which essentially is all the profit you made, was generated during rule breaking activity. So you lose access to all of that profit that you made beforehand, which is just ridiculous. And then you have to make an additional max payout to get back to where you were. You have to make two of those, actually. So they essentially rely on the fact that they put you in a position that they will just they'll run you through tilt the entire time that you're trading with them, which is why I don't want to recommend them as something that people should use. The reward to it is that you get to trade 20 accounts. You only need to, instead of trading 5 accounts with everywhere else, which I'm going to add these my funded futures. I don't know if I'm going to get the 50K rapid or if I'm going to get the 25K flex. I do like the flex ones, but the rapids have daily payouts, so maybe I'll go for that. 5 accounts as opposed to 20. You only need to make $50 on the 20 accounts as opposed to making 200 on the 5 accounts. So it's a lot easier. You will go through periods of you lose 3 trades in a row, 4 trades in a row. You're down 200, 300. And instead of just ending it for the day, you go and take some more trades. And that's how you end up tilting on them. And then they will take advantage of you doing that. And they will negate all the profits that you made. And you'll have to essentially go and do everything again. How many micros did you use to pass the evals? Probably, I think 4 the whole time. 4 MNQ on the Apex evals. You have a month to pass them. You have a month to pass any eval. 25K accounts. Most of them you need to make 1,200 to 1,500. For those 25K accounts, that's making like $75 a day for the entire month to pass it. Let's be honest, prop firms are not looking for profitable traders. It is what it is. Prop firms that have live accounts are looking for profitable traders. Prop firms that do not have live accounts, those ones are not looking for profitable traders. They're looking for people to just go and churn through hundreds of accounts. Like I've seen, I will likely be banned on Apex because I've been profitable on them. I spent less than 3,000 and I took 30,000 from them. It's not a profitable business model, even though I'm not a very big trader. And if I take another payout from them, I will more than definitely be banned. But I would not doubt getting, even after the first one, this is what I was told from Ash, first or second payout, they'll ban you because you're not in a profitable business model for them yet. What's the max accounts with Lucid? 5. Pretty much everywhere else is 5 accounts. I don't think there's any. Top One Futures is the only other one that I know that lets you have more than 5. I think you can have like 15 with them. Take the 30K and keep it moving. The good news is that there are other firms. Yeah, like My Funded Futures, if I can get live with Lucid or My Funded Futures or Tradeify, which Tradeify, I do have those accounts open right now as well. I just hit my max profit for yesterday. Yeah, Buellnox has Buellnox. They will let you trade up to 11 accounts, but you have to. It's a really weird process to getting to it. I don't really have any interest in trying them. You can get 3 accounts at once to start, and then you have to get a max payout on those 3 accounts, and then you have to allocate some of the funds from those 3 accounts to add another account, and then you have to get a max payout on that account to add another account, then you have to get a max payout on that account to add another account. So to get up to the 11 accounts on Buellnox, this is how I understood it from reading their rules anyway. You have to get like 6 payouts to get to max allocation with them. So this model will be profitable in a live account, which is good. Yeah, you guys should have. I was actually in his stream for most of the morning yesterday. Ash did a back testing of the IB, and I'll reconnect the kick to it. Ash went and did a back testing of the IB, and he just picked a random day, and I think it was like February of 2025. Over a month and a half of back testing, he ended up going up to 13,800 in profit. Sorry about the barks in the back there. If you do go live, you get 1 live account, or do you get the same accounts? You get 5. You get all 5. Tradeify, I think you only get 1. Lucid, you get 5. My Funded Futures, you get 5. And then if you end up making a significant amount of profit with Lucid or My Funded Futures, they consolidate it to 1, and then you can trade like 10 to 20 minis if you wanted. I won't be able to post a link in here, Chad, but you can go and check it out on his YouTube. It's pretty cool. He back tested it for like an hour and a half yesterday. Maybe I'll get the. I have the rapid. Maybe I'll try the rapid ones instead of the flex. Let's go and do that actually. All right. So for today, what I'm anticipating is a pretty quick move down. We have a gap fill stat, which is a little. Whoops, wrong window. We have a gap fill stat, which is a little skewed right now. SPY is only down 0.3%. Qs is down 0.69. So going to the gap fill by size for Qs. This gap fill, I need to stretch my window out a little bit here. There we go. This gap fill is pretty low of a chance to fill. And if it was a Monday, it'd be a little bit better, but unfortunately it's not. It's Tuesday. Mondays usually have a really good chance of filling the gap, but not Tuesdays. So we have a 3 and 4 chance that this does not fill on Qs. However, on SPY, we have a 2 and 3 chance that it does get filled, which is really difficult for us to navigate in terms of probability going up or down. Qs would have to go all the way to 0.39 in the next 2 minutes for it to change. But right now, this is pretty significant that we do not go and fill it. The other stat we have working for us is going to be the inside bars. Qs, I'm anticipating probably right down to 596. I do not think that we're going to get a continuation up. I think that both of these are probably going to fall right down to previous day's low. SPY has a little bit better of a chance of pushing up, which might take Qs with it. All in all, we just have to wait it out. There's not really much for us to wait on here or work with here. Yeah, you can do it, Tyree. Go for it. Why do you consider SPY and Qs? SPY and Qs do not have slippage. MNQ and MES do. No sound? Can everyone else hear me in the stream? Pickus, Luke, good morning. Waldive, good morning. Signoi, woke. Just kidding. A walk. Just playing with you. All right. So we're probably, I don't really have anything to base a bias off. We have these pointing in two completely different directions. Qs, as far as I read it right now, Qs has a 75% chance of not going up. SPY has a 63%, which is, if you look at that, Qs is red, SPY is decently big green into the open. SPY has a 67% chance of going up. Qs has a 75% chance of going down. Which is kind of funny. And they're completely going against each other right now. Funny enough. Power 50. There you go. Okay. Pushing straight up on Qs and SPY now. So they're at least lined up. Qs just made a new Ivy high as well. So far, they're both bullish. So funny enough, we might actually get, I think we damn near got the gap fill right there, actually. Let's see. Gap fill needs us up to 681.65. So we might get the gap fill in SPY. Pull up SPY here. We might get the gap fill in SPY because it was a 67% chance of happening. However, Qs, here's what I'm thinking. We might get this gap fill and then tank down with Qs. Because QQQ is incredibly weak right now. SPY has a decent amount of strength with it. I think I'm going to go and get I'm going to go and try the 25K. I don't know. 25K flex or 50K rapid with my funded futures. Which one? Which one should I get? The Pro. I don't wanna get the pro account because you're kinda limited with what you can do on that. At least with the rapid accounts, the pro account, the sim, peaks at oops, I don't want that. The pro accounts, the sim payouts peak at 100,000, which I'm not saying I'm gonna go and get 100,000 right off the bat, but with the rapid accounts, you at least have a little more room to work with. I have Lucid open right now, but I wanna try these my funded ones for the streams that we have on Friday. Gatfill is almost there on SPY. We missed it by the close from Friday was 681.65. This candle's high was 681.58. Missed it by 7 cents. So basically, use the IB on NQ, ES, SPY, and QQQ. I use it on SPY and Qs. They need to be lined up together. That's why I have SPY and QQQ charted together. There's the gap fill, by the way. We just flipped green there for a minute. Looks like we're probably going to get it on Qs as well. So never mind. Not unfortunately with that bias going to open, we couldn't really assess anything. These two were pretty opposed. They were very diverged, unfortunately. Previous day's 50 hit on SPY. Qs is getting a little bit of strength now. So maybe that might tail it up. I don't know. There's previous day's 50 just about at the gap fill as well on Qs. Does it make sense for everyone why we did not have a bias into open right there? Almost got the gap fill. Very, very close. Never tried IB on gold. Not during New York, no. There's the gap fill. Definitely going to have a bullish IB now. What we can do as well, so we should be targeting up to both previous day's highs, SPY and Q. SPY has another $4 to go. Q's has another $5 to go. $4 just about. The reason we're not anticipating previous day's low, unless we go and make a new IB low and the IB switches on us. So I will go and let's see how much the discount for these ones. This 120 isn't too bad. 125. Eesh. Trade to 5 contracts, $0 activation fee, 50%, payout rules, 1 day, 500, max drawdown. Okay. Yeah, I'll go and get those then. Ready. So instead of opting with the, it's pretty unusual for me to do. I'm gonna go and try the 50K pros with them with my funded futures. 25K flexes are essentially the same as tops at 50Ks with the 50% withdrawal. So don't really want to open more accounts with those. Decent business expenditure. You guys didn't know you can write off. Sorry, lost my train of thought. You can write off activation fees and prop firm fees as long as you have a payout, as long as you have profit to go along with it. If you guys have never gotten a payout, then you cannot. For that, doesn't you have to have a trade under an LLC? You do not. You do not. LLC you get more benefits for, but you can do it under an individual. You do not need to have an LLC to profit from all this stuff. The LLCs do give you unlimited business expenditures. You are capped if you do it as an individual, but if you're not making like a crazy amount of money, you don't really need to do it for an LLC, that is. Still waiting for this 15-minute to close, and then we can maybe start looking for some upside draws. We could take an entry off of. I'm going to change my bias up. The only thing that will make me target more downside now is if we put a new IB low in. So if we go below 680 on SPY, and if we go below 597.17. Speaking of, anyone capitalized on that London 50 bounce? That was pretty incredible right there. Very nice bounce off London 50. Oh, shoot. Didn't mean to do that. Nice. Phew. Almost bought the wrong plan. $50K rapid. Almost ended up buying a $50K flex on accident there. Was not ideal. Okay, we're getting back under previous day's 50. Only thing that I would jump in early there is if we get a closure. We have a minute 45 left, so it's still time. If we had a closure over that previous day's 50. One more account to get. I do like with buy funded futures, every time that you go and buy an account, oh, maybe this is just for me after the second one, they require you to get a 6-digit code. Let's see. Is that all 5 of them? No, not yet. Bias might end up being changed. I didn't think we were going to pull. That's a $2 pullback on SPY right there. And a $2 pullback on Qs as well. It should be valid now, right? Should have 5. 4 still? I swear I just got 5 of them. What's up with that, man? I only got 3? Okay, well, I gotta get one more. Not really missing anything right now, so you guys know. I am still focused on the chart. But if we had jumped in long and they were chasing price up, that would have been bad. About to make a new IB low on SPY and a new IB low on, actually, Qs is even close. SPY. Now our bias is switched back to shorts. I'll draw that in. We'd be anticipating all the way down to previous day's low if this goes and takes a low, 680.02. Why does it make me type this code in so many times? I'm a little frustrated by it. But it is nice. I would have just bought the wrong account on accident there. Passing a prop with IB strategy using only 0.5 takes a long time, but it's very efficient. It is. It is. Do you take a short at the 50? I did not. How often do you enter at 9:45? I haven't taken a trade before 9:45 for the past 6 months. Last time that we took a trade before 9:45 was October of last year. And the reward to it, looks like we just made a new IB low. The reward to it is the fact that you do not. Let me also go and make sure I have my affiliate code set up with them. There we go. I ended up going with the rapid accounts, the 50K rapids. There we go. And I will go and make a group for them. Group 50K rapid. Put all these in there. So now they are copy trading lots of 5. So we'll move this down to 5. If we take 1 M and Q, we can move up to 10 for that, and I'll probably move up to 3 MES today. So 2 micros on MNQ or 3 MES is what we'll go with today. And I have Lucid open as well. Good London 50 bounce today. Very good London 50 bounce. Our bias is switched back to short. We're going to be anticipating down to previous day's low. They had us going there for a minute, though. It was a really nice previous day's 50 rejection. If I viewed it that way, but unfortunately I did not. Not trading, this is the most beneficial tip that I could give you. If you are struggling with trading, if you're struggling with constantly losing on evals, not trading that first 15-minute opening candle, the amount of success you will have with that is insane. If you just sit out that first 15-minute candle and you do not take any more trades on it, and you just watch it, that gives you your bias for the day. That first 15-minute candle, that will give you your bias. So if you do not take any trades, you don't worry about what price is doing. We're just watching, okay, that first 15-minute candle, Nice bounce off London 50, nice rejection off previous day's 50. We're right back where we started on that opening candle. If we had started the stream at 9:50, 9:48 right now, we will have missed absolutely nothing. Because you can just go back and chart, okay, we formed the IB low for first, we formed the IB high second. We could very much go and form a new IB low right here, which we should go and do. And then come 10 o'clock, that's when we start taking trades on those strategies. And that's what we're looking for. Let me get there we go, get shareable link. Perfect. Here's previous day's low already taken. Couldn't even blink. I'm just watching in disbelief as how fast that went down. Look at the 1 minute candle we just had. $2. And that was like 30 seconds. No news or anything. 950, just straight down. First 50-minute candle will whipsaw you around, especially after coming off a 3-day weekend as well. There's no reason for you to go and dig into that first 15-minute candle. It goes into what I've been talking about for weeks now. Couldn't get my words out there. It goes into what I was talking about for weeks now in terms of we are not looking to actively be watching the market when we enter a trade or even when you're waiting to get into a trade, because the boredom that you get, and it's going to happen to everyone, the boredom that you get from viewing the chart and watching it develop up, down, up, down, up, down, and watching how the chart's moving to the upside, how it's moving to the downside. Every tick that's happening on the chart, if you're actively watching that, you're going to do stupid stuff. So you're much better off. You're much better off just waiting and watching the chart and making sure that you have a well-established bias before you go and get into a trade. So if you guys are sitting here and you're just staring into the abyss that is the wicks up and down, open another window and play some chess, or open another window and read some comments, or whatever you want to do. What's your afternoon strategy? Or listen to Mr. Sink. Yeah, you can do that too. That was fast. It slipped in my last too. My afternoon strategy, I don't really have one. If I do trade in the afternoon, it's going to be off trends. That's it. That is the only thing that I will trade in the afternoon. These grouped together? What the heck? Ungroup. There we go. So that's the only thing that I will trade in the afternoon is the trend. So if the trend is overly bullish, I'll trade only upside. If the trend is overly bearish, I'll only trade downside. There's no other trades that I'll take in the afternoon. I also try to be off the charts come like really 11:30. I don't think it really it's the equivalent of saying nothing good happens after midnight. Nothing good happens after noon for trading, especially if you are locked in and can convinced that you're going to have a winning trade off of FOMC or like trading the red folder news that the market has. Just get that mindset out of there. Download. There we go. Current page. Okay, we are still in free fall. The only reason I'm on the 1 minute chart right now is to see how fast these candles are moving. Can't really see that if you're watching the 15-minute, but this was not much that we could have done from the IB50 at 950. It did hit perfectly as it appears now, but that was a $2 drop in maybe 30 seconds. I think we can maybe go down. Yeah, we can view it on like a, let's see. What? I have premium. That's a bunch of bull. I think I can go to a tick chart. Let's see. No, what the heck? I guess the minute's all we get. This is like a 30-second drop. That moved down. It's been stress-free trading micros. I'm going to keep with micros. You need to be trading micros all the time. There we go. Are you looking for shorts? I will be, yeah. So what we want now, I'll go back to the 15-minute. We don't really need that 1 minute. We've taken out previous day's low on both SPY and Qs. Unfortunately, there's not really anything we could have done to anticipate that low. I don't think anyway. If anyone has any indication on that, please let me know. At best, this is what we were expecting right now. A retracement up to 598 and then down. We got the gap filled perfectly on SPY and Qs, which was probably the sweep that we needed. But I do not see any other reason that we've had this pretty nasty continuation down. So we want to retrace it back up to 598 and down. You know, you look at inside bars and lower time frames, so it's going to be massive in the weekly. We've already taken out the inside bars for both SPY and Qs. Or how do I change the thumbnail on live streams? I'm trying to figure that out. Customization, maybe? Slow mode. There we go. I got it. Wow, can we stop? Enough with the free fall, please. Warren, Trish, how you doing? Can this chill out for a minute? Get a retracement up at least. Hope you guys can see how sporadic this 1 minute is too. This is I mean, just in the past 10 minutes, these candles are massive on the 1 minute time frame. We've had some green candles, but they've just been sold off very strongly. The overall trend is still down from last Thursday. Silver is all the way down to 72 an ounce, and gold's down to 4,800. The largest ever market capitulation. Zinc should check the stats for us on the New York lunch initial balance. Unfortunately, that is not something that is on edgeful. I can't change the time. I can change the size of the time frame, but the initial balance is just the hourly open. 9:30 to 10 would be nice if it retraced to 579. We want it to get back up to 597. I'm sure that's probably what you meant on 579. I think we'll get a retracement up. Take my word, lunchtime range, not worth it. Two of you guys just said the same exact thing at the same time. I have seen that some people are having a little bit of difficulty in terms of trading that lunchtime. Silver still has a big imbalance between paper and physical. There's such a big shortage in physical in Asia. It's always going to be like that now. Same with gold. If you really go and read into what's happening with silver and gold, it is exactly like that little skit that they give you during, if anyone's watched The Big Short, which I hope you have if you're a trader. It's the exact Jenga reference, or the reference in the casino that they have in The Big Short, where everyone's placing a side bet. I know 1 ounce of physical silver has been diluted to like 13 or 14 ounces of digital silver because of all the you have obviously silver and just the main unit of silver per ounce, and then you have stocks like how gold has GLD, which is the S&P version of it. S&P gold shares, you can buy this, and then you have other companies like Barrick Gold. You just look all these up. Actually, I'll type out gold. So you have gold XAU, you have gold the ounce, you have GLD, which is the S&P's gold, you have China gold, European gold, gold versus US dollar. These ones are just metrics, but you have all this digital currency, digital assets for physical assets that do not exist. So unless we have like a mass cleansing with the digital market on silver and gold, it's never going to get changed. It's always going to be the same. Edgeful should allow us to customize the times maybe in the future updates they will. It's a problem with how they store data. So they cannot refine it to specific weekdays. They cannot refine it to specific hours or minutes within those weekdays. That's why they're restricted to these stats right here. I mean, still the 42 reports is really good, but you cannot. There's only so many ways you can go and refine the search. You can't continue. We're looking like we're going to get a really good short coming up here as well. There's only so many ways that you can go and look into a strategy or look into a short or long or refine it to this hour or these 15 minutes. I think it's something that's going to come long into the future. Maybe when they get their own data center or something. All right, guys, we have a short opportunity coming up here. Need price to get to 597.98. And then we can anticipate a move to the downside. Good morning. Good morning. Asia was red. London was closed red. IB 1.33% in red. I'm leaning short. Trend is very much to the downside. The opening candle is just a big ol' FU, it looks like. We have 9 minutes for the IB to hopefully retrace back up to 598 or 679. Either one I'll take. And we're going to take that with either 3 MES or we're going to try it with 2 MNQ. I don't think the range is overly large today. I don't think it's too big. So our range is sitting at, never mind, 180 points. 360, $720 is what we're going to risk with 2 micros. Isn't that insane? Maybe we just take one M&Q, or we could take SPY. Still isn't really that bad. SPY is going to be like $200. Yeah, that's not bad at all. SPY is going to be 30 points. So we'll size this down. There's no reason for us to go and take 3 or 2. $360 on 1 micro is what we would get from this if we get an entry at 50%, that is. I will try it on whichever one of these hits. Same thing that we did last week, and I got a lot of questions from this. Why did I take the short trade Thursday? Why did I take it on SPY and not Qs? The reason that we took the short on Thursday on SPY was because it was at 50%. We got a tick perfect entry at 50% on Qs. SPY, sorry. QQQ on Thursday was a good $1.50 off of that previous the IB50. So that's the reason we took the trade on SPY. Also a little bit more exposure than we wanted on Qs. Today I'll be okay with taking it with 1. But man, put that into perspective as well. What is the reason for you as a trader? What's the reason for you to go and take 1 mini on the IB? Why would you do that? It's a genuine question for anyone in chat. If you really sat there and thought about the trade that you were entering and thought about what the risk reward is in terms of dollar amount, as opposed to just thinking, I want to pass this account quick. 1 singular micro from 50% of the IB on Qs is going to be $360 to the downside. 2 micros, $720, 3 micros, $1,080, 4 micros, $1,440. $420. No, $440. So with 4 micros, you could blow a 50K account, you could blow a 25K account, you could blow, with 1 full mini, you could blow a 100K account just with this one trade. And that's what I've been getting to in terms of letting your strategy play out. We could easily go and take this trade with 2 micros, 100%. If we lose 2 trades in a row, we're going to blow the account. That's how fast, especially in a market like what we're looking at right now, that's how fast you can lose your account. So if you blow your account in two bad trades in a row, your strategy's not playing out. Not only that, but you're going to be set on tilt for however long now. What's going on, Steve? Good morning. Eddie, good morning. Bread Chaser, good morning. Don't give me that nonsense. It's going to close under previous day's low now. How often do you get the 50% of the IB for a long or short? It's been happening decently often. Last week, I think it went 4 for 4 with one day that had no break, which was Wednesday. The reason I said 5 for 5 earlier, I don't remember who in chat asked it, but technically it was 5 for 5 last week because I secured this trade at like Qs is a little bit better on Wednesday. I think we took it on Qs. Yeah, I secured the profits at 609. So this was like a 80-point drop that I secured. Technically, it was a loss because it never broke the IB. But we got a 50% retracement on Wednesday. We got a 50% retracement on SPY on Thursday. We took that trade live. Wednesday, nah. We did not get the retracement on Tuesday. Tuesday ended up breaking. Actually, I think we took the entry early Tuesday. I don't remember. I have to go back and look. And then Monday, I think, was the only one that we did not get anything on. There was no retracement, just shot right through the top. Friday was also another decently good one. Friday got a perfect retest, and I just didn't take it. So that was my own error. Friday was a little tricky with CPI as well, but only way I'm worried about this is why would it trend when there's no news? Otherwise, I think the break of the previous day's low and week low would run 200 to 400 points. It doesn't need to be any news. Sometimes like Monday, we had no news last Monday, and Monday trended the entire day. Monday went from 688 on SPY up to 696. $8 move on SPY is huge. 1.5% for the day. So even though we have no news days are sometimes better than days with news. There's nothing for us to wait on. I don't think we have market data this week. We are looking short bias, yes. Waiting for shorts. Yeah, we have no big scheduled news today. We have a speaker and then a speaker at 2:30. That's it. Home builder confidence, that has absolutely no impact on the market. I hate to tell you. That will do nothing. Tomorrow we do have quite a bit at 8:30. So all these small reports added in, if they're pointing in the same direction, they'll give us a decent move. But nothing for this. Wednesday at 2, we do have FOMC minutes, but that's not a rate decision. And we will not have Powell speaking or the new Fed president speaking. So this one will be nothing as well. FOMC Wednesdays with no rate decisions usually are some of the worst price action days to trade. So we might avoid that. And then we have GDP Friday. That's the big one for this week. GDP, holy smokes. GDP, personal income, personal spending, PCE, core PCE, PMI manufacturing, and then these new home sales won't really do anything. The big one for Friday is going to be consumer sentiment. That one will be pretty significant as well. All right, hopefully we actually get a retracement here. What's going on, Rafshan? Good morning. I will have that. I'll have the proposal out to you later, Rafshan. I should have sent it yesterday, but I didn't. I'm not too worried about price pushing to the downside. I think that we're going to get a retracement. I don't think we're going to flush right through. We're already down to 1.2%, so not yet SS, no. I will announce when it's out. Then it's going to be a monthly thing. What's going on? How you doing, Freedom Trader? Yeah. Yep. I'm waiting to get that 30K in my bank account. Yep. I sent it on Saturday. Thank you. Yes. MES or MNQ today? Sorry, to cut you off there. One MNQ or two MES is what I'm going to be going with, Rafshan. One MES or two MNQ. Other way around. Two MES or one MNQ. Go ahead. What are you going to say, Freedom? No, because they after I got that payout, they corrected it, said I had to make the 1500, so I couldn't flip it. Yeah, basically, it's two more max payouts is what I have to get to, which is kind of silly. There we go. We're getting that retracement back up now. Not gonna chase shorts too early here. I think we at least get London 50, which I'll take an entry there with one MNQ, and that will just slightly increase what our risk reward is. We have 13 minutes for this to pop back up. The ducks are playing outside in the snow. It's kind of funny. Weird animals. All right, I'll be happy with the entry at London 50. Oops. I don't even know what I just clicked on. It said miscellaneous something. So erratic on price. I think we're going to get that retracement here. I think it's going to be a good entry for short. Especially the volume coming in. Look at the teeny tiny volume bar on the bottom of this 15-minute. Even though it's only been open for 3 minutes, it's still very, very small. It's 20% of the candle already gone. There we go. Almost at London 50. SPY is looking a lot better. Let's see what SPY's London 50 is. This is the hardest part about this strategy is waiting to get the entry because we're itching to get short right now, right? We just wanted to climb up a little bit more. It's past 10. Oh, no, never mind. I thought it was later than the 10:18. There we go. Almost there. Almost there. All right. Let's do 2 MES short. Make sure I'm on the group trade. There we go. I get filled. Did I buy 6 accounts? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I knew I bought 5. Why did that get delayed so much? That sucks. Spent another 120 for nothing. All right, buy 10. So that's our risk reward right now. We're in for about 30 points. So $300. We got the entry short 2 MES at IB50. Stop loss IB high. Take profit IB low. Then we could also take the same trade. I might, yeah, we can do that on, it's going to be a little risky on this, but we'll try it. Buy 5 stop, buy 5 limit. So these are not the same accounts. I'm going to try something a little different here. We're going to do 1 M&Q on Lucid, and we're going to do 2 MES on my funded futures. I knew I bought 5 accounts. Those bastards. They spent another 120 for nothing. So 2 separate positions. The risk is about the same. It's a little less risk. You guys can also do this with 1 MES as well if you didn't want to do 2. It's a little less risk with the MES, but we are green on both of them right now. Should be about 300 profit. And then we shall go over to, we got a perfect entry at 50%. Short 1 M&Q at IB50. Short 2 MES at IB50. Then we wait. God, you couldn't have asked for any better right there. That was a chef's kiss on Qs. Short the MES. Sizing does matter across all the accounts that you use. What I will say is if you're on a 25K account, typically I like to do 1 MES if the reason these are evals on Lucid right now, that's why I got 1 M&Q on them. It's working out beautifully right now. For MNQ, 2 MES is usually equal to 1 MNQ. So if you want to trade less than 1 MNQ, you would go and trade 1 MES. Simple as that. That's how you can manipulate the sizing and the risk in your favor. Wow, this is beautiful. Up 120 right now. I'm itching to secure it. You know what? We're going to try to ride a trade for full TP. We're going to try, as I was very weak last week in terms of letting the trades, moving the stop to break even and then getting a little screwed on it. Up 160. I got to take it. I can't. Out for 165 profit on that 1 M&Q. Out for 165 profits on 1 M&Q. Couldn't have asked for anything better on that. Still an MES. It's up 120. This one I'll let ride to full TP. I won't be a baby on that. Make sure that all the orders are exited. Good. Make sure I have no working orders. Exit all. Good. So missed out on another 90 points, $180. I think, is that right? So I got out at 551 lows. Yeah, 90 points. So 180 bucks if it goes and hits the full TP, which it probably will. But we're gonna ride it on MES. MES is up 150 right now. Took 2 M&Q short with you for 220. There you go. That was a quick exit. I really struggle with holding trades the full TP. Something that I am very weak at and I need to work on. But at the same time, it's not too often that you get a trade that, I mean, that was an 80-point drop that we just got in the matter of, let's go to the 1 minute time frame for this. That's an 80-point drop in 5 minutes. I don't think there's much else that you could ask for that. And even going over to MES, this is in the same time frame, 5 minutes. This is a 16-point drop. So now we're just going to sit back and wait for it to hear full TP. I am very confident that it's going to go into the IB low. I highly doubt we're going to get a retracement all the way up because that would be some tomfoolery and a half. But IB low for a Monday. Tuesday, sorry. Tuesday. Oh, shit. Oops. Excuse my language there. Tuesdays are like the best days for us to take this trade. Look at that. High form first. We have a 92% chance of going to the low. Kind of glad I didn't look at that beforehand. Maybe I wouldn't have taken it. The reason that I did take it, though, is if we go to the past 5 years on Tuesdays, it's really not that much of a variance. Tuesdays are like 82% for a win rate on the IB once this loads for the data. What trade copy did I use? This is the built-in one with Tradeovate. So you go to application settings, you go to add-ons, you go down to group trade and make sure this is active. This is the only one that I will use. I'm sure many of you saw the massive error that happened last week with Replicanto and Tradecopia. Both of them went out last Tuesday. Up 185 on this right now, 190. So we can at least get, I'm going to leave it. I was going to try to stop to break even, but I'm going to try to let it run. Hopefully I don't end up screwing myself because of this. I don't think we're going to retrace all the way back up to 6. If we retrace back up 50 points, I'm a sucker and a half. Yeah. I mean, I do have the stop in place already, so it's not like I'm going to blow anything. Mez. I might steal that. Mez. I like that. Come on, baby. Give me that beautiful, beautiful TP. I want to hear order filled. Could we have asked for anything better today to start the week? Does the IB work well in YM? I've never traded on YM. I don't know. Will you leave a runner? I will not. Full TP. Oops. I don't really need gold up anyway. I'm kidding. Full TP or nothing. You know what? I will actually. I'll get the stop move to break even now. There's no point in risking 320. Stop at break even. We're up $200 right now in the trade. We can probably move it a little bit more, actually. How close would be too close? So 212. Stop at break even, up 90 to 100 points on one MNQ. There you go. Yeah, I'm going to leave it there. Leave it there, and we're going to close the window, and I'm just going to close my eyes and wait to hear order filled. Someone wake me up in like an hour when that happens. Done for the day. Good night, all. See you tomorrow. Holy crap, Ron. Rolo, sorry, not Ron. That is a massive day. Even if those are evals, that's huge. Come on. Come on. You're 4 points away. You're 4 points away. Go ahead. Just one little. Give it to me. 4 points, man. 3 points. Screw it. 4 points. That's what we're missing out on. I don't care. Now it's going to take it now that I'm out. I sacrificed my position for all of you, so you know. All right. 250 profit, and we did miss a significant amount on MNQ. Another 50 points, so $100. Should be up 260 on this as well, but 258 on 2 MES. Hype is goaded. Yeah. Yes, it is. That it is. Full TP is coming. I'm not going to be. 6,800 is probably going to be a pretty strong support for a little bit. The longer I talk, the more likely it is to go and break right through the IB low. But 4 points is what? $40 on 2 MES is what we missed out on. Your RR is too bad. Huh? My RR was 1. That was 1-to-1. Too bad. That makes no sense. Beautiful trade. Could not. Oh, okay. This is updated now. So for the past 5 years, it's at 70%. That is not at all what I wanted to see. Let's just avoid the fact that I took it today with the IB at 92%. Kurt Robinson said, "RR bro is taking a 30K payout in 25 days of trading." Yep. Damn you, Steve. Why did you have to do that to me? You doing all right, Steve? I wouldn't worry. I think you're fine because most of those accounts are over 3,000. So you would have had to bend down 1,500 for the MAE to hit. The ones on the bottom might be a little in trouble, but the rest of them should be fine. But look at that balance you got on there. Holy smokes. Nah, that's okay. IB broke on both, so we missed another $180 on that one MNQ. I should have held that one a little bit longer. But you know what, guys? I'm working on it. I'm building. Also, if you want to see my, no, I won't. I won't do it. Kind of new. What time frame do you usually enter on? Always the 15-minute. Always the 15-minute. Which accounts do I have with Tradeify? I have, I think the Tradeify growths, 50K growths. These ones I dug out of a little foxhole yesterday. Shout out to the IB. Tradeify 50K growths is what I have. Green across the board today. Yesterday, not so much. But the IB came and recovered for us today. No, it's you gotta double your buffer and then it goes to 50%. Steve, I thought the same thing. That was a massive trade on the IB. I wouldn't do what we just did today, Steve. If you do get hit with that violation, like this was the 2 MES, your risk is $260. You're not gonna eat too much into your buffer. You have the buffer that you have working in your favor, but 260 over 8 days, that gets you your 1500. And then you'll have, I mean, it's I don't know why we're so silly in the fact that we feel like we need to take trades outside of just trading the IB with how accurate this is. Ankish, IB. Sorry, go ahead, Steve. Yeah. Wow, I have like 30 comments to catch up on. Sorry. That's you guys. This guy in chat said that my RR was bad, and you guys just went ballistic on him. Like 10 different comments. It's kind of funny. As I understand, you can't place bracket orders on Tradeovate Group Trader copier. Yes, that's correct. So the correction to that is I very rarely set TPs. I only ever put my stop loss in. The reason that I just had that TP on there is because we're on stream, we're sitting here, we're watching the trade develop. But if I was on my own, I will set the stop loss, I will enter the trade, and that is it. Because if you have your stop loss hit or your take profit hit, the opposing order remains open. So that is the reason that you do not want to have multiple orders open. Let's say some unexpected news comes out and we have a 100-point move back up because you still had your sell stop or your buy stop up here. That will get filled for longs, and then say that news comes crashing back down. You're now long 2 MES. You're obviously not going to be sitting in front of the chart. You had no idea you had the order open, and then you come back to either negative 600, which has happened to me 3 times before, or your accounts are gone. Heaven forbid. For the IB, what time should we enter? I just took the trade at. That was beautiful, by the way. Look at the entry that we got on that. Look at that. We entered And the only reason I didn't get the entry at 6828 was because I did a sell market. If I did a sell bid, I would have gotten filled there, but the market order was at 6827.25. So we missed by 3 ticks. We missed the perfect entry by 3 ticks. And what's even better is if you guys look at the drawdown that that trade had, we were down at most $40. We were down 4 points, and I should have gotten the entry at 6828. So that trade had a wick on the 1 minute time frame that was negative $40. And then on MNQ, same exact thing. 24,634 for an entry. It wicked up 7 points. So at most that trade was down $14. So we just capitalized on 80 points to the downside, missed another 90. Kind of knew what time frame to usually enter on. I already answered that one. Always the 15-minute. Not sure what you said, Rufus. We all are. Why not the select accounts? The 2 day to pass is really difficult for me. If I get evals, I like having the 1 day to pass. 1, because of the consistency, and 2, it's a lot easier to find. As bad as this is for me to say, because I'm so big on micros, it's a lot easier for me to find one quality setup like this. Mind you, this was one MNQ that we just took. If we had taken the same trade with 4 MNQs, 4 micros, that would pass any 25K account. If you took the trade with 8 micros, that passes any 50K account with $3,000 profit. So that's part of the reason I like the growth. Not saying that I would size up that much, but I will go up to like 4. The highest I've been on an eval is like 6 MNQ. Any tips on scaling? Scale horizontally, not vertically. And what I mean by that is we could have just as easily gone and taken 40 MES, meaning we take 8 MES per account. That's scaling vertically. You want to scale horizontally, which is over multiple accounts. That's how you do it safely. You do the math on 20 Apex accounts. It's all documented. I've been trading the same accounts he bought. Thank you, Delegate. How would you play standard deviation continue off of all this? The standard deviation probably not going to hit today. The reason being we have a IB range of like 2%, just about. We went from up 0.01 to down now 1.3. So we have a 1.5-ish % IB. Very unlikely that we get a continuation down another 0.75%. So we are done for the day. IB is 9:30 to 10:30, so we can enter at 10 a.m. itself. No, 10 a.m. is too early. %50 can be taken before the hour is over. Yes, it can. What decides you entering or not? The entry. This was even had the arrow drawn there too. This is as beautiful as it gets. I could not have asked for a better delivery on this. The IB was chef's kiss today. Two payouts last week and only went at the end of the week. That's loyalty. Sorry, I'm catching up in the comments. You guys are dropping so many right now. Green on 5 PAs and passing their eval. There you go, Brian. Very nice. There was hardly any drawdown to the trade. I don't think there was. I don't think I even saw a red on it. It was in drawdown for 30 seconds. This is beautiful. Your view on RR is flawed, and it's likely all the ICT nerds cloud your idea on R. Quit thinking 1 to 2 R is the only way to make money. Likely why you haven't. Okay. Go easy on them now. I will say your risk reward means absolutely nothing. Risk reward and win rate means nothing. The only thing you should be considering is your profit factor. That is quite literally it. You have no reason to concern yourself on any other stats. Everyone made their money and got out. Love it. Love it. Do you manage to get that trade, Freedom Trader? What do you look for if you have entered before IB time? Just passed the Lucid 25K eval in one day thanks to taking cues from you. Awesome spate. Kurt Robinson, should we say it's hard to take a payout on a 50K compared to a 25K when we were sizing up on a 50K? Yeah, the 25K is much easier. Doesn't matter if you're sizing up. The dollar amount is what you're focused on because it is not. We just made 250 bucks on those 5 accounts. We made 160 on these 5. And then on the TradeFi ones, which I sized way the hell up on, I made 1200. What I want to say though is what was the inherent risk of this TradeFi position as opposed to the other positions? What was the drawdown to this? Being up 1200 looks beautiful. However, that trade, if it went in the opposing direction, we're down 1200. Sizing up there's always 2 sides to it. Yes, it feels really nice after you win a trade. And I am practicing on sizing up because I want to eventually get this into a live account. The benefit to micros is definitely that we're trading 1 micro over multiple accounts as opposed to trading 5 micros per account. So that's the same. It's the same equivalent. We just made 12,000, not 12,000. We made $1,250. That's over 5 accounts. That's 5 micros in 1 account or 1 micro per 5 accounts. It's a lot more difficult to make this dollar amount, even if you're copy trading, you're sized up, whatever you're doing. It's a lot more difficult to make this much as opposed to making 250. So sizing up doesn't always yield better results. There's no reason for you to size up more than you have to. Thanks for sharing today. Much appreciated. Yeah, no problem. Braden, I have the 30K payout en route. I have no idea when it's going to be here, but hopefully tomorrow or today. I've been checking my bank account all day and haven't gotten it yet. No more trading after this IB. Yeah. No reason to be in another trade anyway. Yeah, no payout. Probably get it tomorrow, hopefully. No problem, Kurt. This is the trade that's on the screen right now is the one I just took, everyone. And we're not taking anything else on anything else because the IB is broken. We have no bias. We have no reason to be anticipating upside or downside. So price is just going to do what it's going to do for the rest of the afternoon. This is the trade that I took on MNQ. Got out super early. This is the trade that I took on MES. This one was a little bit better. That was as good as it gets right there. Lovey. I didn't take that. It was way before 10:30. It was in the front run window. 10:20. It was 3 minutes before when I should have gotten in, but 50% hit on the IB that is the range on this IB today was 70 points. And the range on MNQ was almost 400 points. What was the percentage for today's IB break? Sitting at 92. I know it goes against what I usually say. I shouldn't have taken this today, but luckily I didn't pull up the data, so I did. Ended up working out. Just bought the essential program for what? Trend Logical? For edgeful? Those long plays after the IB low is taken has also been good trades. Yeah, but then you're just kind of guessing on that because you could say the same thing for last Thursday. Last Thursday, the IB low broke. He could have taken a long, and then you would have just completely blown up. This last Thursday was also like a 2.5% red day, and today would be lining up for the same thing. Nice turn logical. Why you don't use OCO orders in that case? Because you can't copy trade. If I turn OCO on, ATM orders, it will only do it on one account. It does not copy trade it over all the other accounts. That's why. Did gold break the IB? Let's see. Probably not. Nope. Nothing on gold. Gold and its IB is a real tricky thing to trade during New York. So I never touch it. I'm going to go get a haircut here in an hour. The stream time frame goes into 11. That's where we're sitting around. If you guys have any other questions, let me know. Finally found the IB goat. Thank you. Thank you. Sea Freedom, I'm sorry, did you end up catching that? I think I asked you already, but I can't remember. Gotcha. Awesome. How close are you to passing the Apex accounts? Woo! Yep. Yep. Gotcha. I will say if you wanted to, because you have the 50Ks, right? If you wanted to, you could go on those 50K Lucid. Sorry, not the 50K Lucid, the 50K Apex. You could wait until they do a 90% off sale. Yeah, but I'm saying when you want to go and activate them. I think it's 75 or 85. Yeah, they'll be 65, I think. Either way, you're saving yourself like $200, $100. Mm. You have a month. No, yeah, I think you have a month to pay them. Yeah, you could. You could do. Geez, I don't know. I would probably just fund them right away. Oh yeah, I forgot about. So yeah, you will have to pass. You will have to fund them because of that monthly recurring. Never mind, I forgot about that. Mm. Yeah, but I don't know if they cancel the subscription. Yeah. Yeah, once you pass it, you get the email that says your subscription's canceled. Yeah. Yep. Alright, let's catch up on. Yeah, no problem. Do you trade the Asia with IB? I trade Asia trends. I don't trade the Asia IB. Thanks for all you do. Everyone have a great day. See you, TD. What strategy do you use in the evening sessions? I don't trade the evening sessions, Joel. Does your Discord contain more education IB info compared to what you have on YouTube? Thinking about joining. We'll have the course out for it on the WAP page. Yeah, BitT. I don't know how much more information there is or what you could get. I think the benefit is that you're there for a month, and if you don't like it, then you just leave if you wanted to. What do you think about the IB25? Maybe it's the same but less potential. You could. I know that's what Dan does. Dan Cook. You could use the IB25. I prefer the 50 because it's a 1-to-1 risk reward, and the ultimate invalidation of the IB is the IB high getting taken when we're targeting the low. So that's a 1-to-1 RR. Sometimes, very rarely, but it does happen. You have the IB 50 hit, and then you go to 75%, which I think is where he puts his stop loss. So, like last Tuesday, it happened. You have, let's say he entered at the 25, he puts a stop at 75, he gets stopped out prior to it even being able to go and take the full TP. All right, guys, that will do it for the stream today. Hopefully, you all enjoyed. If you did, make sure to drop a thumbs up. That does help me, as well as Edgeful. I will see all of you same time tomorrow. I'm trading EMAs. I'll answer a few more questions. Sorry. Do you wait to trade enter after 10:30? No, not always. Trading EMAs, but I've been watching your videos, enjoying the YouTube. It's really helping. I'm struggling with EMAs. Doubled my equity today. Thanks. No problem. All right, guys. See you tomorrow. Peace out.